Okay, here we are. Welcome back, guys. So today is the last section of chapter 6, and it's going to be lower cost or market. Okay, when we talk about when we purchase inventory, right? There's are many reasons why we as a business we sell our items at a lower cost, or we have sales at that point, like where we start selling our products at a cheaper price. Okay, there's reasons behind it. One, especially if you have things like groceries, right? When you buy them and then they have a time limit on them where they expire, or they're about close to being expired, or they're coming up to that date, right? And usually what happens is those kind of items, they go on sale extremely, because at the end of the day, right, you want to try to make as much profit as possible. But here's the assumption here. When we purchase our inventory, right, as time passes by and that inventory doesn't get sold, what happens is that eventually those items become either outdated or become obsolete, and they end up losing value over time. So especially a good example would be something like electronics. Okay, so that's why we have what's called lower cost or market, because when we purchase our inventory, right, and we have it in our inventory for a long time, it eventually loses value, because again, especially things like technology, we have more advancements every single year, right? So like if you guys remember back then, a flat screen TV was so hard to make. Now it's so easy to make, and every year it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the materials to make it gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So think about it. And technology, again, maybe there's different cheaper materials or better materials that can better produce a product. So with that being said, right, that means as time goes by, right, technology and anything that happened that you produce those products, they end up losing value over time. It's just because it's no longer worth it. No one's willing to buy something that was made a long time ago when there is a better item out there right now. Okay, so therefore, we must always adjust the inventory due to what happens when we check up the price, and let's see what it is compared to the market. Okay, so again, a good example is if I bought in 2018, right? Let's say I bought a 2018 laptop and I'm selling it out, right? And fast forward, let's say 2020, right? Can I sell that 2018 laptop for the same price? No, of course not, because no one's going to be wanting to buy a 2018 laptop in the year 2020, because, think about it. There's the 2020 models. There must be something better. The camera is better. The battery life is better, right? The lithium battery, they use a better materials to create it, so it lasts longer, right? Maybe they instead of a spinning drive, it's a solid flat drive, right? Maybe there's more memory. Maybe it's lighter, right? So I don't know if you've seen any laptops now. They don't. Back then they used to have a CD-ROM. Now it doesn't exist anymore, right? And if you notice this, every single laptop, right, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. The screen gets thinner and thinner, right? It's to the point where you can almost break your laptop if you accidentally sit on it. Where back then you sit on a laptop, right? It's pretty thick, so it probably be less likely to break. But with that being said, right, advancements of technology is what reasons that push out older models or older items. So again, and on top of that, you may have purchased it in 2018 for, let's say you bought it for $500, right? And fast forward 2020, it's no longer going to be worth $500, right? It's probably going to be almost like maybe $200 or even scrap metal at that point, right? It loses value over time. And that's why we must adjust it according to the market, okay? So what is lower cost of market? So here are the 4 formulas, or I guess 4 things that we're going to be looking at, because 2 of them are actual formulas and then 2 of them are actual comparisons, okay? So we're going to talk about the ceiling price, okay? The ceiling price, which is going to be selling price minus cost of disposal, right? Each one will be explained, okay? But we call that as well the same thing as net realized value, okay? Then the next thing we're going to be looking at is finding the floor price, okay? The floor price, once again, is going to be the net realized value minus the amount of profit, okay? And then when we look at comparing prices, we're going to compare the ceiling, the floor, and the replacement cost, right? And which one ever lies in the middle. So in this case, I'll explain that later, okay? And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to determine, well, which one's lower, your original cost or the market cost. So let's go ahead and take an example here. Now, these numbers are going to be given to you. You're never going to have to solve for it, or you're never going to have to figure these numbers out, okay? These numbers will always be given to you, right? Because the people that are involved in here are going to be your sales people and your cost people, right? The people who purchase these items, okay? Your job is to determine, well, do you need to adjust inventory if you are the inventory manager? So in this case, right, you are going to always be given that you're going to be given the original cost that it cost you when you purchase that item, okay? And then your replacement cost is what's going to be done when you do your research, when your marketing team or your cost team tells you that, well, this item right now in the market costs this much now, okay? The estimated selling price obviously comes from the sales representative on how much you're going to be willing to sell your item for, and your profit manager is going to tell you how much profit you're trying to get out from the selling price. And then, of course, your cost manager is going to tell you, well, if you don't sell that item, how much is it going to cost you to dispose? Okay. So those are the items that we're looking here is going to be your selling, your original cost, right? Your replacement cost, which is what the market says that it is worth right now. The estimated selling price, which is going to be the amount that you're trying to sell that item for. The cost of disposal, right? If you need to get rid of that item, that's how much it's going to cost you per item, obviously. These are all per item. And then the amount of profit you're trying to get from making the sale of that item, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the first section right here, which is going to be solving for the ceiling price, okay? So this is step 1. So ceiling price is going to be your selling price minus cost of disposal. So here, I'm going to sell this item for $8.17, and if I don't sell it, it's going to cost me 87 cents to dispose. So in this case, we take $8.17 minus the 87 cents, and here we are going to get that it's going to cost, my ceiling price is going to be $7.30. Right? Then, our step number 2 is going to be solving for the floor. Now, in this case, it's going to be net realized value minus the amount of profit. Net realized value, which we know to be the ceiling price, right? So we're going to take our ceiling price and minus the amount of profit, which gives me, right, we know what the ceiling price is, which is $7.30, which is your net realized value, okay? And you're going to subtract your amount of profit of $3.28, which is going to give you your lowest price point that you can sell it at, okay? Which is going to be calculated at $4.02. Okay? So here we have the ceiling, we have the floor. Now, the next step we're going to be looking at is going to be looking at determining what the market price is, okay? Now, the market price here, says right here, is where your ceiling is going to be greater than your replacement, and your replacement is going to be greater than your floor. But if floor is less than your replacement, then your floor becomes the market price. So what does that even mean? Well, here's an easier way to understand this, right? So step 3, we're going to be taking 3 numbers, okay? The ceiling price of $7.30, the floor price of $7.02, which is the 2 numbers that we just calculated. And we're going to grab our replacement cost, which is $4.89. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these 3 numbers and we're going to put it on a number line and place it in order of numerical value. Whether you do highest to lowest or lowest to highest, you're going to set these numbers on a number line, okay? Obviously, my ceiling is of $7.30 is the highest value right now, okay? My floor, okay, which is 402, is my lowest value, okay? And in the middle, between the two, I have my replacement cost of $4.89. So when we compare and put these numbers in numerical value, the easiest way to determine the market value is you're going to choose the one that's in the middle. Okay, in this case, my market price is going to be my replacement cost. So my replacement becomes my market, okay? Now, this doesn't hold true all the time, okay? Your replacement cost is not always going to be your market because there will be times when we calculate our floor and our floor is actually higher than the replacement cost. So therefore, my floor price will become the market price, okay? But in this case, right, we compare the 3 numbers, we put it on a number line from highest to lowest, and we determine that in the middle between them, or in this case, right, by determining the value, right, 489 is in between my 730 and my 402. So that means this number right here, my replacement cost, becomes my market price, okay? And then once you have that, the last thing that you need to solve for is to answer the question. What is lower, your original cost or your market price? So in this case, you gotta put it again on a number line. What's more expensive, your original cost of $5.02 or your replacement cost of, your market price of $4.89? So just to answer the question, which one's lower? By comparing these 2 numbers, obviously your market is lower, which is $4.89, and that is your new price for inventory. So because your original cost was $5.02, while your market price is $4.89, right? Because you lost some pennies right here, or you lost a couple cents, this is where you're going to have to adjust your inventory for the loss on due to market. So right now, you originally purchased it at $5.02. The market tells you after doing your calculation that it's no longer worth $5.02. It's now worth $4.89. Okay, so that's where you have to adjust your inventory, because here you lost money because you can't sell your item, or you can't cost it at $5.02 anymore. All right. Any questions here? let's go ahead and practice this a little more since we already did the first one, right? So here, the second one, we originally purchased something for $4.01. The replacement cost is going to be $3.92. The selling price is going to be $8. The cost of disposal is going to be 40 cents. And the amount of profit is going to be $3.62. Okay? So let's practice here. How do you solve for the ceiling price?
Are you doing the second one?
Yeah, we're doing the second row, yes.
Yeah. The selling price minus the cost disposal, no?
Mm-hmm.
So here's 3.60. You know that?
3.60. No.
No.
So in this case, we're looking at the second row right here where 401 is my original cost. So in this case, how much is my original selling price? What am I going to sell this product for?
Oh, $8.
$8, okay? And the cost of disposal is 40 cents. So in this
Yeah.
case, how much is my
Seven.
$7.60?
60 cents.
Good.
Yep.
All right. Now the next one's just solve for your floor. Okay. My floor is my ceiling minus my amount of disposal. I'm sorry, amount of profit.
How much is it talking?
Is it 398?
Let's see. Yes, so we take 760, right, which is your net realized value. It's the same thing as your ceiling price. We're going to subtract the amount of profit of $3.62 to get a total of $3.98. Okay. Now let's go ahead and determine what the market price is. So you're going to compare three numbers, right? Your ceiling, your floor, and your replacement cost. Okay? So here my replacement cost is $3.92. Okay?
It'll be 398, the new price.
Yes.
Market price.
Yes, because here, right, the ceiling is obviously the most expensive, right? And then here, between the floor and the replacement cost, right? The floor is at $3.98. Okay? While your replacement is $3.92. So this case, the one that's going to be in the middle is going to be the $3.98. Good. Now the last question is, let's compare. For my original cost of $4.01 versus my market price of $3.98, which one's lower?
The new one.
Which is?
Hold on. 398.
Yep.
398, no?
$3.98 is correct. Good. Okay. Let's do the last one here. If I originally purchased something for $3.49, right? And the replacement cost tells me that it is now worth $3.05. Okay. I set my selling price to be $8.25. The cost of disposal is 95 cents. So then the amount of profit I want to gain is $3.50. Okay? So how do I solve for my ceiling price?
$7.3.
Okay?
7.3.
Yep, $7.30. Good. All right, how do I solve for my floor?
Do we take the $7.30 and subtract the amount of profit of $3.50?
Correct.
So it gives us $3.80.
$3.80. Good. Now let's compare, right? We have our ceiling price of $7.30, our floor price of $3.80, and our replacement cost is $3.05. Okay? So in this case, which value is going to be in the middle? What is my market price?
The 380?
380, right? In this case, that's correct. 380 because our ceiling is obviously the most expensive. Our floor is 380 and our replacement is 305, which is significantly lower. So in this case, the number that falls in the middle is $3.80. So last question, which one is lower? The original cost of $3.49 or the or the market price of $3.80.
The original cost?
The original cost, okay? And if you get original cost, that means you do not need to adjust your inventory because in this case, your price is already lower, the lowest. You purchased it at the lowest cost. Okay. Now, of course, you don't do this often just because, given that depending on what the item is that you sell for your inventory. So obviously, if you are a grocery store, you would probably do this every week just because, once again, you can't put the price of bananas, your cost of bananas obviously is not going to work. But then you wouldn't be able to store your bananas for a very long time either. But if you are like something that has electronics or some kind of equipment or something that has some kind of electronics, then yes, you would actually do this often. Okay? Or you wouldn't actually do this often. You'd probably wait till the end of the year, or you could do it on the month. Usually by the month would be a more, greater depiction just because, we all know that iPhones come out at the end of every year, right? Every year there's a new phone. So that means every month, that means the phone loses value over time just because there's a new one coming out in the next month or in the next year. So things like that, for example, you don't need to do all the time unless it just depends on what item you actually sell. Okay? So what happens when we need to enter those values or journalize that we need to update our inventory, right? Due to the cost of market, right? How do we adjust our inventory? Well, in this case, there are two methods that you can use to journalize your adjustment for inventory, okay? And that's going to be the direct method and the indirect method, okay? Now, I am not going to be teaching this to you, okay? But I am going to show you what happens because in your reading, that's what you do, right? That's the purpose of, you need to be able to know how to journalize this, okay? Because the whole purpose of this class is to teach you to become the bookkeeper and the accountant. But in this case, it's just something that I wanted to show you guys, but we're not going to be learning. I'm not going to require you to know this part because Your job isn't being the inventory manager. Your job is to journalize, okay? So I just want to show you that these do exist because it's in your readings, okay? So first one, the direct method, okay? It allows you to adjust the inventory by not recognizing a loss, okay, on the items, but by placing it in an all-in cost of goods sold. So in this case, right, we don't even recognize the loss at all. You're just going to take that loss and just dump it into cost of goods sold, which, that's not really ideal because you didn't really sell those items, but unfortunately that is a method that does exist, okay? And then we have the indirect method where it allows us to adjust the inventory, but we recognize the loss as we adjust our inventory, okay? So again, so let's go ahead and take a look at both of these methods, okay? For this example, okay? So periodic inventory is which we are learning, right? Chapter 5 was all about periodic inventory. So direct method, okay? This is where the example says that when you purchase 1,000 units at $1.25 as of January 1st of 2020, okay? And at the end of the year, you adjusted the inventory due to the market, okay? And the market cost now is $1.15. So record the adjustment, okay? So this is where we already figured our numbers out, and it says that, okay, well, we need to adjust our inventory accordingly. So here's a little table here where it says that when we purchased it originally, it cost us, again, $1.25. Now, fast forward, at the end of the year, now those mugs are now worth $1.15. Maybe the ceramics that they use to make the coffee mugs, it's no longer in use, etc., etc. We don't know why. The color's not in style. There's many reasons why they would be outdated, okay? This is assuming that we didn't sell any mugs the whole year, okay? So here we can see that the original purchase in January was a total of $12.50, right? While now, fast forward a year later, it should be now worth $11.50 because we lost $100 due to the market because it's no longer valued at $1.25 anymore. It lost value, right? It lost 10 cents of value. So in this case, right, by the calculations here, we lost a total of $100 due to the market, okay? Now, using the direct method, we recognize that, hey, we need to complete a conversion entry, right? When we convert our purchases into inventory, then once we complete that, then we have to complete this next little section here where we're going to take our inventory, right? And we're going to credit our cost of goods sold. Because in this case, right, I lost value, okay? So therefore, I didn't actually claim that. I would have to mark it the way exactly like this, right? So instead of when we're journalizing the purchase expense into inventory, instead of recognizing it for the total amount that you originally purchased it for it, you're actually going to take that $100 less, right, or the actual cost it is in December, and then you're going to pretend, or you're going to sell them all out and shove it into cost of goods sold. Okay. And that's how you complete this journal right here. Okay. Now let's talk about the indirect method, because the difference between this one is that we're not going to just shove it into cost of goods sold, like pretend like we sold it, because we really didn't. In this case, we're going to actually recognize that we lost some inventory due to the market, or lost the cost of the inventory to the market, right? So once again, you're going to do your periodic inventory, right? But this time you're going to recognize it for the full amount of the $12.50, okay? And this is where you're going to recognize your $100 loss by taking a loss on due to the market, for $100 because that's the difference between the $12.50 and the $11.50. And you're going to create a contra account, which is called the allowance for the inventory. Okay? And that's where you're going to recognize that $100 loss that you accumulated in the inventory. Okay? But again, once again, we're assuming that we didn't sell anything. So therefore, we're going to shove it into cost of goods sold anyway. Okay? That's just how it is. All right? So that's how you journalize for periodic inventory. All right? When you complete your conversion entry, this is what you have to complete instead. Right? So once again, I'm not going to require you to know this just because, again, you are not the inventory manager. However, if you do ever stumble across a company that does do this, this is how you're going to journalize it. Okay? And of course, I put perpetual inventory here as well. We're not going to learn this until chapter 7 and chapter 8, but when we do finish that section, here is what you do for perpetual inventory, okay? So for this test, or for the next test, which is coming up next week, all I'm going to be requiring you to know is, can you calculate and determine the lower cost or market, okay? Which is straightforward. I'm only going to be testing you this. I will be providing you all the information, that entire table, and all you're going to be doing is solving for the ceiling, the floor, and determining the market price, and then once again answering the question, which is lower, your original cost or your market price. Okay? So here we are, exercise 6.4. So this is what I may test you on, is something like this. I'm going to provide you a table with all the information you need. All you have to do is be able to figure out the ceiling, the floor, the market, and lower cost of market. That's it. Okay. So here's our exercise here that we're going to practice our calculations here. So let's go ahead and go over it. So number 1, okay, or the first example here is, I purchased chips, okay? It cost me 89 cents to purchase, okay? But maybe it was a special edition chips, you know, those limited edition or maybe flavor of the month type of ordeal. So they cost me 89 cents per bag, okay? But now, due to the market and people not liking that chip flavor, so therefore, it tells us that, hey, these chips, of course, they have an expiration date. They're no longer going to be worth that much money because, 1, it expires, and 2, no one likes that flavor. So they're telling you that, hey, it lost value over time, and it says that now those chips are worth 49 cents. Right? Now, of course, you originally sell these at $3.99, all right? And the cost for you to dispose it is going to cost you 15 cents, okay, per bag. And the amount of profit that you're trying to get out of each bag is $3.05 because you're trying to market it at $3.99, but you purchased it at 89 cents. So you're trying to keep your profit margin at $3.05 per bag. Okay? So let's go ahead and determine the ceiling price. So what's my ceiling price? $3.84. So we take $3.99, which is your selling price, minus the cost of disposal to get you $3.84. Good. Okay. What about my floor? What is my floor going to be?
$0.79.
79 cents, right? We're going to take our ceiling price of $3.84, and we're going to subtract our amount of profit of $3.05 to get us a total floor price of 79 cents. Okay? So here we have it, our ceiling, our floor, and our replacement cost. In this case, right? Let's compare those three numbers. Which number is going to become my market price or market cost?
$0.79.
So let's see. We're going to compare 79 cents to 49 cents. Yes. Your floor is going to become your market price. So in this case, which one's lower? The market or the original cost?
Market.
Market. Good, because 89 cents compared to 79 cents, at least here, you're not taking too much of a dip here. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So next scenario here, we have cups that we originally purchased for $2.59. And the market tells you, well, maybe the cost of plastic has decreased. So therefore, it is now worth $2.49. Okay. You sell these cups at $8.99, and in order to dispose it, it's going to cost you 75 cents, and the amount of profit that you want to earn is $5.84. Okay. So what is going to be my ceiling?
$8.24.
Okay, 8.24. Okay, good. What is going to be my floor?
$2.4.
$2.40. Okay. So now, once again, let's compare our numbers here. Okay. Oops, I don't want that one. I want comma stop. So let's compare, right? Which one is going to be the market cost?
2.40.
2 point what?
40.
Okay, now let's take a look. So my floor is $2.40. My replacement is $2.49.
It's lower to 2.4, no?
We're not looking for the lowest one. We're looking for the one that's in the middle.
Oh,
Okay, so in this case, right, 8.24 is in the middle. Is the highest. The lowest is 2.4 because 2.49 is greater than 2.4. So in this case, my replacement cost is going to become my market. Okay. So then let's compare which one's lower, my original cost or my market.
nice. 2.4.
Yes, 2.494. Good. 2.49. Yes. Okay. All right. Next scenario here is we bought a bunch of shirts. Okay, we bought it for $1.98. Maybe due to the materials, it's no longer produced anymore. So now it's worth $1.66. Okay, or maybe that T-shirt design is out of style now, so it's worth now $1.66. Okay. Now we sell these shirts for $4.99. To dispose those shirts is going to cost us 22 cents, and and we want to earn at least $2.99 for profit for each shirt. So in this case, what is my ceiling?
4.77. 4.77.
$4.77. Good. Okay. What is going to be my floor?
$1.78.
$1.78. Good. So then, which value is going to be my market? Okay, if we have a ceiling of 477, a floor of 178, and a replacement of 166, which one's going to be my market?
$1.66. No? Oh, 178. Sorry.
Yes, 178. Yes, we're not looking for what's lower or lowest. We're looking which one is in the middle. So in this case, my replacement cost is unfortunately lower than my floor. So that means my floor becomes my market. So in this case, right? Let's compare which one's more, which one's lower, my original cost or my market?
The market one.
The market. Okay. Yeah. In this case, you'll most likely, for depending on what you're looking at, most of the time, you will see that the market is lower. But there are that slim chance where sometimes that your original cost is actually is the lower one. Okay? That's just this example here. Okay. So six more examples. So next one is here. We bought pants.
Because
Go ahead.
no, one question is because you your original cost. Why is sometimes lower than the market price?
It could
No,
be sometimes like just depending on when you complete your inventory adjustments, right? So in this case, a lot of these items, right? So with food, for example, will always be adjusted pretty easily because food has expiration dates. Clothing, right? They have seasons, they have styles, right? You can't expect to have winter pants be the same price every year. No, because of style, material, right? Maybe the material last year wasn't the same, maybe, or whatever manufacturing that you bought it from, it's not the same materials. So that's a great example of why sometimes your original cost would be. It could just be depending on when you complete your, when you adjust your inventory. So sometimes, like maybe if you adjust it like every month, most likely your cost is going to stay the same. Yeah. But again, it's also depending on the item. But in most cases, oftentimes you will see that your market will be more lower than your original cost. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now I bought some pants. Okay. They cost me $5.25 each. Right now, the market says that it is now worth $4.98. Okay. And here we have my selling price as I sell it for $14.99. To dispose it's going to cost me $1.85. And the amount of profit I want to get is $8.15. Okay. So here, what is my ceiling?
$13.14.
Good. What is going to be my floor?
$4.99.
Okay. So let's compare. Okay, we got $4.98, $4.99, and $13.14.
$4.99.
$4.99. Yes. See, something like that could be really tricky, right? All right. So last but not least, which one is lower? My original cost of $5.25 or my market price of $4.99?
The market price.
Yes. Okay, so here we purchased some hats, which cost us $2.58 each, right? Due to the market, it is now worth $2.05 each. Okay? And you originally sell these hats at $9.99 each. To dispose of hats, it's going to cost you 59 cents each. And we want to make at least $7.49 profit on each hat. So, what's my ceiling?
$9.40.
$9.40. Oops, I guess it's picking up. All right. What is my floor?
1.91. It was there.
Yeah, 1.91. So let's go ahead and compare. Right? We got 205, 191, and we have 940.
205.
205. Yes, right? So here my replacement is the market. Now let's compare. Is my original cost 258 versus 205? Which one is lower?
205.
205. Okay. Then we bought some toys for $1.05, and then the market tells us, well, due to technology, right? It is now 98 cents per toy. Okay. You sell these toys for $6.99. To dispose them, gonna cost you 11 cents, and you want to get a $5.81 profit. Okay. So in this case, what is going to be my ceiling?
688.
688. Okay. What about my floor?
107.
107. Okay. Now, let's compare. We have 98 cents, 107, and 688. Which one is going to become my market?
So 107.
Your floor for 107. Now, in this case, let's compare. Which one's lower? My original cost for 105 or my market cost of 107?
105.
Yes, so now in this case, my original cost of those purchase of those toys are significantly low. Okay. Two more. So we bought some pens, right? It cost us 78 cents each. The market tells you it is now worth 33 cents. You sell these pens for $2.99 each. It is going to cost you $7 to dispose, and your amount of profit is $2.24. Okay. So, in this case, what is my ceiling?
293 or 292.
292. Okay. What is going to be my floor? What is going to be my floor?
0.68.
0.68. So let's compare my replacement of 33 cents, my floor of 68 cents, and my ceiling for $2.92. Which one's going to be come in the market?
$0.68.
Yep, 68 cents. So then let's compare. Which one's lower, 68 cents or 78 cents?
68.
68.
68
yes.
cents.
68 cents. Okay. So last but not least, I purchased laptops. Okay, it cost me $584.60 each. The market told me that it is now worth $562.17 now. I sell these laptops $849.99 each. In order to dispose, it's going to cost me $129, and the amount of profit I want to get is at least $127.50. Right? So in this case, right, what is going to be my ceiling?
$720.99.
Good. $720.99. Okay. Ooh. I don't think any of those answers are correct. Okay? Except for maybe that one. So then, what is going to be my floor?
$591.99.
Let's try that again. Okay. So it's 720.99 minus 127.50. How much is that?
$593.49.
Good. Right? So once again, let's compare. Right? We got 720, we got 593, and we got 562. Which one's going to be the market cost?
593.
593. And last but not least, let's compare. Which one's lower, 593 or your original cost of 584?
584.
584, right? In this case, my laptop, I purchased it at a low price. At a low price. Okay. And I think it just changed my answers just there, no? Let's see. Lower is 105. Lower is 68 cents. And lower, okay, good. All right. All right, good. All right, so that is exactly all we have for today. Okay, so remember, this is all I'm testing you on. I'm not going to ask you anything in regards to journalizing the direct or indirect methods, okay? So, with that being said, any questions in regards to lower cost or market? So this is one of the easy things as long as you know how to calculate your ceiling and your floor. Yes? Any questions?
No.
Okay. Well, that is it for today. Okay, so once